Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Alrighty everyone, let's go ahead and hop over to the live scene. Sorry for the little bit of delay here. Had I don't want to say rough night last night. I was just extremely tired, so I ended up sleeping in a little bit. So getting a little bit of a late start today, but it is what it is. So once again, I think I'm going to go no face cam just so that the code is more present. So where we left off yesterday, here's what we're looking like. Here's what we're trying to get to. I might move around some stuff so I can see chat and stuff. I don't know. I tried putting chat back where it normally goes, but I might end up putting it back on the right side instead because it feels weird on the right side, but we'll see. The thing that we need to work on now, I don't know. We were working on searching, and I think that we had an issue with searching. Like we couldn't click outside. It was like breaking things. But before we can do any searching, I think we also need to be able to and if we type in here, if we type in here like Ethan, yeah, it has the results. So I think we need to make this larger. Obviously this is not quite right. Come back here. So I think we need some messages to list out here. And I think that's might be like the first thing we do. I mean, we could do these setting pages as well. If we come back up here, if we click on settings, this kind of just opens this up, and we could just quickly knock that out as well. But I think we might want to do like the harder thing, and the harder thing would be getting messages showing up. But the thing is, we have a bunch of message components. I just don't 1000% remember how all the messaging stuff works. Like we also have this button to open up new message. So like we could just try to create a new message. Whoops. I need to look into this issue as well. So if we click this, it opens up a new message. We can search for people. I'm assuming this works. There's a little bit of a bug with this, it seems like. So if we open this up, so this seems like it's doing fine. I don't know where this is. I think this is just the people that we've messaged. Excuse me. So if we like search for Rick pops up. We can click on Rick. I don't know why there's a dual scroll bar. I don't know what happened with this. But then if we click on next, I have no idea if it worked or not. Because nothing popped up. We can probably go in the dbeaver and see if we... I'm gonna move this over so I don't leak anything. I am gonna try to get some work done today, but we need to kind of figure out how the code that I wrote a long time ago works, type situation. So that's also kind of what I'm gonna do as well, just do some exploring to see what's going down with this code. But if we can get some conversations open here, that'd be nice. We also have like a whole slice for specifically working on what's it called? We have a slice specifically for working on messages. So I'm thinking we could probably end up using that. And this is probably a little bit small. I'm sorry, y'all. So we go messages. Do we have anything inside the message table? Oh, we don't have anything like that. What about like conversations? We have conversations because we haven't sent new messages yet. We look at maybe. Can you close this? We look at conversations. There is a conversation. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a picture. But I think it's okay. And then inside conversation, user junction. This should be between like me and Rick. I don't know why there's between 1 and 1. That's interesting. Oh, conversation 1 and user 1, conversation 1, user 5. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, the conversation got created. So in here, if we come into inspect, go into our, I don't know if I have Redux DevTools installed. I do. Let's see if we can't open this. How do we open this up in its own thing? Let's see. I guess maybe dock on bottom and just pull it up. Okay, so in message, we do have a conversation with the users. Yeah, so we do have a message slice. We don't have any unreads, obviously, because we haven't sent anything. So I think everything might just be set up for us to slap a message in there. So let's investigate pulling in this. I'm actually gonna pull up our console again. That's cool. We got a bunch of broken stuff. We're just gonna ignore that. Okay, so let's hop into the code here for the front end. Let me move my mic a little bit. Okay. So if we look in our Redux slices and message slice, this is where all of our stuff is. We have our load conversations and open conversation. We have generate message form data. Excuse me. No, this is just straight up Axios and like nothing else. Axios and Redux for storing it. Whenever I started this project, I think the tan stack was like didn't exist or like very new. Like I didn't even know who T3 or whatever his name was. Okay. So I guess let's go into our message page. And let's go ahead and bring in our So we'll go ahead and bring in, what do we want? And it's been so long since I've done anything. I feel like don't know what I'm doing, which I don't. Let's see. How am I doing this? I think I want the whole thing, but I might just want conversations. Let's just bring in conversations. So if we come in our messages page, I don't know if I even actually want it in the messages page or somewhere else, but I'll go ahead and bring in here. We'll say const and conversations. I think that's what we called it, is equal to use selector. Okay, and then this is going to be state root state. And we're going to pass back state dot messages, I believe. We might need to import root state. Okay, and then this might need to be outside. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've played with this code, so please give me some grace. Message. I don't even use Redux anymore at work, so. Okay, so we have our conversations. And then what else do we have in our Redux slice? So our message slice. What else can we watch? So in the state itself, we have a conversation list. We have unread messages of conversations. So we might want to watch for unread messages to change as well, to reload the page whenever we get new messages and stuff. So let's go back into messages. We'll also go ahead and watch the unread messages, like so. And then don't even know if we need to watch both of those, but it is what it is. And then, so let's see here. So we might not even need this in here because it just needs to be in the message list. So I might just put this in the message list, and I might have done all that for no reason. Like I said, it's been a week since I touched the code, and I'm just trying to figure out how the messages work again. So let's go into the message list. We really only want to reload the message list. Let's go ahead and bring in that. We probably need to import selector and root state. That is fine. And I'll close out of our side navigation window whenever I'm comfortable. So if we're not searching, we have the conversation list component, which is just going to be, if we look inside of our messaging components, I think that we have there's a message user card, there's a message selected user, there's a message container, and the message conversation card. I think maybe there's a message conversation card is what we'd be looking for. As an on click, that whenever you click on it, it selects a conversation, which we'll have to do some logic with. Has a profile picture, has some text content. I think this is probably, I'm sorry y'all, I think this is probably what we want. So let's yoink this and just takes in a conversation. Okay, so this was the message list. Goes that. So what we could probably do is just have like a div here. Class name equal to message list. Maybe call this conversations. And then we can just say conversations.map each conversation. And then we can just go ahead and return one of these message list. Whoops. And then the conversation will obviously be that conversation. Let's import this guy. Now, in theory, whenever we click on this, we have one with Rick. That's good. Now, I think Twitter might look slightly different. I think it's just because there's two in this one. That's fine. I don't know if it does have this. And then I don't know if that doesn't do anything right now. That's fine. Whatever. But hey, it's doing something. Now, eventually, what we want to be able to do is search through these, but I'm not going to worry about search. Let's first deal with this chat thing here. It's not going to do anything when we click on it, but it is what it is. So this is good. We got that working. And then what we'd probably want to do is whenever we get a new message, we probably want to have it at the top or something. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but we'll deal with that later. So at the top of this list, I'm not going to have this do anything. So I'm just going to say div class name equal to, whoops, maybe, oh my goodness. I don't know why y'all watch me. Message list conversations dash chat or something. And then inside this, of course, we're going to have that SVG icon. I think we might just yoink it. So let's just yoink this guy. Whoops. So I'm going to go ahead and inspect the window, come in here, yoink this SVG. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that element, flashbang you guys, and then hop into our components and our SVGs and create a new SVG. We'll go ahead and call this chat SVG, I guess, .tsx. Hopefully I don't have one of those. I don't think I do. Okay, and then we're gonna import, and this is SVG, whoops, SVG props. from, and this needs to come from our global interfaces, which I think is in utils / global interfaces, and then we'll export default function, and we call this chat svg. This is going to take in props of type svg props. So cool. And then open this up, return, and paste that in. Let's go and clean this so it doesn't look so horrible. Oops, I broke it. There we go. Clean this up a little bit. I love SVGs, not. But we're just going to yoink this. And then display it in there. We'll do the beta thing and then call it good. The big guy. But yeah, I'm doing no face cam today, just so y'all can see the code a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna tab that. Let's go ahead and delete the class out of this. We don't need this. Go and set the height equal to props.height. Set the width equal to props.width. There we go. Set the path. And then inside the path, we'll go ahead and set a fill. Oops, fill equal to props.color question mark, then it'll be props.color. Otherwise, we'll say pound000. Cool. And if I want to, I could bring the D down here, but it's fine. Okay, hop back into message list. Cool. So now what we'll have is, I don't think this does anything like super crazy. We take a look at it again. Yes, it's broken. It just has like two little sides here, and it looks like maybe this is a group, and then this is like by itself, and we'll push it out. So we'll have a div, the class name. I could make this its own component, but I don't really see the need for that. List conversation chat left. Oh my goodness, left. Okay, and then we'll have our chat svg width equal to, let me check how big this is. We have too much stuff open. So this is actually a big guy, 28 by 28. So we'll say 28. Height is 28. And then color is just going to be black. So we'll just set it pound000. We could have left it, but it is what it is. This is just going to say chat. And then here we'll have another div. Whoops. Div, the class name equal to message list conversation chat, and we'll go ahead and call this beta. And then here it's just going to say beta. So okay, I think that's good. If we take a look at this again, just have that in beta. Let's go and stop selecting stuff. Sorry if you guys have a seizure. So yeah, it looks fine. Now I just need to go ahead and make this obviously bigger and stuff. So this chat size is 17px, and it's probably like 700, 800. So let's go ahead and grab this and yoink it, copy it. Let's go ahead and go to the message list.css. Whoops. And come down here and paste that in. So the conversation chat, set width to 100%. Don't care about the height. We'll set a padding. It's probably 1612 or 1216 like everything else. So I'm just going to go ahead and instinctively set that to that. Then we will go, oh my goodness, we'll go ahead and, I don't think it has a border. It definitely has cursor pointer and stuff, but I'll deal with that with the hover. We're going to want a display flex on this. We'll justify content space between, and we'll align items in the center. Then we need to go ahead and say font, whoops, font size will be 17px, and font weight will go ahead and be 800. And that'll go ahead and fix that up. Although that's not going to do anything for this because we group those together. And then we'll go ahead and say dot message list, whoops, conversations, chat, hover, cursor, pointer. It's not going to do anything because I don't care. And we're going to have background dash color, RGBA. And this would be 0, 0, 0, 0.1. And there we go. So now it's going to be a little bit better, but it's not going to be perfect. So there we go. Because we need to still center this, and we might, no, looks fine, I think. So now we need to work on getting this guy kind of centered and working on this. But if we also, if I stop that, hover over it, looks fine. We might need to do a little bit more padding. Let's do 16 all around. Because it looks like it's actually like quite a bit of padding. Let's say 16 and 24. It looks like quite a bit of padding. And I mean, I could cheat and look exactly at what the padding looks like on this guy. There's like double padding on it. There's like 12 by 16, and then there's like some, they made this like pretty big, like 16 on the top and bottom as well. So it's really like 12 and then some like weird padding going on here. So it's really like 32. But I'm gonna do 16 by 24. I think I like that more. Okay. So next we go back into the message list. We have the chat left. Message list.css. Okay. So here, what we're gonna go ahead and, oh my goodness, go ahead and have is a display flex, and we'll justify content. We don't need to, we'll just align items in the center, and then we'll go ahead and have a gap of like 16 px. It's a pretty healthy gap there, and this is where we want a font size, font size to be 17 px, and the font weight to be heavier at like 800, like so. And that should go ahead and set that up for us. Except it didn't. What's going on here? Save that. Hello? I saved it. What's going on here? Oh. Try that. There we go. Looks a lot better. That looks good. And honestly, the gap might be even more. There's 16 there plus a little bit more. The gap might be like closer to like 32 or 24. So I'll do like 24. Okay. And then let's go back to our message list.tsx. And then finally we have the beta. Go ahead and grab this. Message list.css. So here we'll also display, maybe display flex this, and we'll justify content in the center and align, line items in the center. And we probably want a little bit of padding on this, padding of like 4 px or something. Now we don't want it to be too big, but we want just a little bit of space around this beta area, obviously. So if we look at this guy here, it's hard to see what's going down on it, but yeah, there's definitely a little bit of padding on the left and right. We might not want as much padding as we have. We'll see. Okay, and this guy's going to be incredibly hard to select, because I want to see what the font size in here is. It says 6, no, that's the line height 16. Font size is 14, and then there's just a little bit of padding on the left and right. So we'll probably do like padding like 4 and then 0. We'll go ahead and say font size was 14 px. Font weight is going to be 400, background color, go to our app.tsx, it's Twitter blue. So we'll yoink it from here. And then we'll go back to message list. Do that. Font and the color, I'm assuming will just be white. And then we probably want some sort of border on here, I'm assuming. Yeah, border. So we'll go ahead and say, whoops, border none, border radius probably like 4px or something. Like I said, it's very small. Let's just see how bad this looks. We're gonna go from there. Yeah, so I need to swap this. So say 0 4px. Looks better. And honestly, I'm also gonna set the line height, because that adds a little bit of space on the top that we need. That made it worse, I feel like. I'm gonna say padding 2px, 4px, and see how that looks. So it needs a little bit of spacing. I think that looks better. There we go. So that's not going to take us anywhere. We wasted 30 minutes programming that, but it is what it is. Okay, if we just go to messages here. So right now we click on this, it selects a specific thing. So if we come into Redux here and move this up, we selected a conversation, we go into message, we have a conversation selected. So what we need to do is watch for when that conversation gets clicked maybe, and then navigate. I don't really love this, but we might need to watch inside of the message list. So message list. What we might need to do is have a use effect here. And we'll go ahead and say conversation itself. And what we might have to do is say use effect. Oops. Okay, type. We might need to watch for conversation.id to change. Call it conversation ID. So if we have a conversation, and we'll watch for conversation as well to change the conversation and conversation ID. If we have a conversation, we need to go ahead and bring in navigate. So we'll say const navigate is equal to use navigate. So we'll go ahead and say navigate. Oops, navigate to, oh my goodness, slash messages, and let's make these backticks, make our lives easier, slash $ curly brace conversation ID. I think if we look at the app.tsx, let's make sure that's how we set this up. So messages / message ID. Yeah. So message list. So now whenever a conversation gets clicked, it should trigger it to navigate to this page, and then that will display the conversation information. So yeah, now it says messages 1. If we just go back to / here, go into messages, and let's say that we clicked on Rick. Now you see that we're in messages 1. We're in the messages conversation page. Cool. That worked. Now, I don't know how you close out of messages, so I go into testing. I don't think there's a way to close out of a message, quote unquote, so that's cool. Okay. So now what we have here is we need to basically make a bigger version of the thing that we had down here, I think. So first, let's make the top bar. So if we open up our Explorer, right now, our message list is basically done from like what I can tell, other than dealing with search, but I want to do a search last because it's going to be a pain in the backside. So what I want to do is, let's see. How do we want to do this? I'm thinking here for a second. I'm sorry, y'all. So we need a top bar. And let me look at how our messages page is laid out, actually. So we don't actually have a component yet. We just have... we just have this. So we need to create that component. Let's go ahead and create the component for this. So this is going to be message page conversation pane, maybe, slash message page conversation pane, message page conversation pane.tsx or .css. The thing is, we might already have a top bar similar to this that we can reuse. That's what I'm wondering. So if we go back into Twitter and go to like home, hopefully there's nothing bad on here because you never know Twitter, and open this and click this. Okay, it's not the same. So we do need to make a pane thing here. So we need to make this guy, which is fun because my favorite thing is messing with these stupid things. Although we just made something that should help us work with that, but okay, so let's go ahead and open up or add this in here. Although we don't have message page, what I call this message page conversation pane. It's gonna be mad at us because we obviously haven't exported anything yet. Let's open this, import React from React, export const message page conversation pane is a react.fc, return a div with a class name, equal to message page conversation pane. Okay, and then we'll have a top bar, and then we'll have a messages container, and then we'll have a create message area. We should have both of these set up. We still have a top bar. We save this and go back into our messages page. Should be able to import this now, maybe. Okay, I guess we're gonna force it to be imported. That's fine. Come back over here. Import, and this is message page. I meant to call this pane. Make sure we spell this properly. Pane. go and in here should be fine. Okay, so if we come back here, we see the top bar, message container, and message area. And this is going to be fun because because the top bar has to be sticky to the top, and then this guy needs to be sticky to the bottom, and then the middle is going to be a scroll area. So that's going to be fun to deal with. So let's go ahead and create our, we'll go ahead and call this message conversation pane top bar slash message conversation pane top bar dot tsx, and our message conversation pane top bar dot css. Import React from React and import the dot slash message conversation pane top bar dot css. Export const message conversation pane top bar, and this is probably gonna have to take in something, but React, we'll deal with that in a second. FC return a div with a class name equal to message conversation pane top bar. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I think inside of the explore components, I think that I had created a thing that like had a list of people, but I don't remember. If I come in here, click on explore. Yeah, what did I call this? Just a div. It's an explore for you news card info. So it's going to be inside news card. Let's look for that. Space FG news dash card. Okay, so it's in this render profile pop-up icons. Where does that come from? So this should be its own utility function somewhere that just takes in a list of users. But then the problem is, actually that's probably fine. It should definitely be like, there should definitely be some sort of util somewhere. Let's see. And this should be like its own component. What do I want to call this? I'm going to make a new component in here. And we're going to call this the... what do we want to call this? Profile. I'm going to call this like stacked profile pictures slash stacked profile pictures dot tsx, and go ahead and make a stacked profile pictures dot css, because really this is just rendering these profile pop-up icons with a specific height and width, and then I just slap it in here. So I can just make a component for this instead. Now the fun part's gonna be I'm gonna forget where this is, but so let's go ahead and say, I think on these I've been doing export default function, and then we need an interface for the props interface, and this is stacked profile pictures props, and this is going to go ahead and have users, and this will be a user array. I'm hoping that this is correct. Gonna go and have a user array, and then here we're gonna go ahead and say stacked profile pictures like so. Here this will take in our props, which is going to be the stacked profile picture props, and we can go ahead and just say const users is equal to our props. Whoops, I don't even know what the heck I clicked on there, but equal to props like so. Then we can go ahead and return, and I think I was going to return this. Okay, and then what we can go ahead and do is go back into the Explorer or news, I think is where I had that. Yep. We can just go and yoink this entire thing. Come in here. I guess we didn't even need whatever it's called. Whoops. Right, so here we're just gonna say if users.length is equal to 0, return null. Here post users, we'll go ahead and say we don't need to do anything because we already have the users, right? So we can just go ahead and delete this. We can say users.length equal to 1. Say users.length, and then here say users.length because we're just passing in the users as props. Go ahead and import this. Go ahead and just say users.slice. Okay, and then finally we'll go ahead and pass in users like that, and then literally all we have to do is just call this render post profile pop-up icons like so, and it should do the same thing. And we didn't need the CSS because all we're doing here is, gosh dang it, I'm so stupid. Delete the wrong thing. Okay, I guess we're restarting. Yay! Stacked profile pictures.tsx. I'm stupid and delete the wrong thing. Gosh dang it. Export default function stacked profile pictures. It's early, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. And this has an interface called stacked profile pictures props. Just has users, which is a user array. Rewrite all of this again because I'm stupid. Props is going to be a stacked profile picture props and returning a fragment. Okay. And const users equal to props. Let's delete the right thing this time. There we go. Come back in here. Copy this again. Yoink this. Bring it in here. Paste it in. Okay, this should be users.length again. Users.length. We don't need this. We will need this for inside of the other component. So I am going to go ahead and grab this, delete it, bring it in here because we're going to need it in here. So I'm just going to yoink that and leave it in there. This is going to say users.length. Going to say, whoops, users.length. And that's going to say users.length. Here we'll import this. This will be users.length or users.slice. And then this will just be users. Okay, and finally, once again, we'll just go ahead and call the render post profile pop-up icons. Let's actually call it. Now we go into here. What we can do is use this component. So this is going to go ahead and be the stacked profile pictures. Users is going to equal to post users, like that, and it's probably going to be scuffed. Ta-da! And Peter Griffin voice. So I need to fix that, but that looks fine. Cool. Now we can reuse that. We might want to, because these are bigger, so we might want to pass a size for the profile pictures as well. That's optional. So I'm gonna add an optional size here. And if there's a size, we'll play around with how big it is. Okay. There we go. So now what we can do is, this was just a side quest. Go ahead and hide all this stuff for this guy. So that was just a side quest for this guy. So the pane top bar, come back in here. We have a group here with these two and the name of the conversation. Leo, I'm sorry. Or actually, I can do this one. This one, it just has the name of the user. And it only has one profile. So if it's only a single user, so what we'll do, we need to grab the conversation. And I think I'm just going to go and pass it in here. I don't think I need anything else. So we're just going to say conversation, the conversation. And then bring in this conversation. And then whenever we use this inside of our message page, or here, we'll go ahead and say const and conversation is equal to, and we could have passed this down, but I'm gonna not do that much, or try not to do that much. So this is gonna equal to use selector. That's not what I wanted. I don't know where that even came from. Use selector, date, root state, date dot message. Don't even know where this came from. Get this out of here. Here we go. Also import, import the dot slash and message page conversation pane.css. So then what we can go ahead and do is do this message page conversation pane top bar, pass that conversation equal to conversation, and there we have it. Spelled this wrong. Maybe the conversation is optional. Yeah, could be null. So what we'll do is we'll wrap this. Conversation question mark. How do we want to do this? Let's just try to do a fragment for now. That'll be fine. Do we need a progress indicator or something? Particular progress. SX equal to color. And then we need Twitter blue, so let me yoink Twitter blue real quick. We need to also close this. Grab Twitter blue. So we'll just load. At that point, we should already have the conversation loaded. So like, we shouldn't have to worry about it. We shouldn't see this, but just to make TypeScript happy, since it's technically optional, we'll throw this in here. Like I said, we shouldn't need this. There we go. So now in here, go into messages, click on this. We don't have anything going down right now, but we'll get that in a second. So let's go back to the conversation page. Top bar. So we're not rendering anything right now, although did I not put it in there? I did. What's going down with that? Okay, that's fine because it's just showing the message container. Okay, in the top bar, what we're gonna do is we need to check to see if the user list is greater than 1. So we'll say conversation dot users dot length greater than 1. I have no clue, honestly. I keep saying hopefully soon, but then it just keeps going. So soon TM. So this will be stacked profile picture. We don't have that much to do. Like in the grand scheme of things, we have the messages page, which I'm trying to wrap up in the next week or two, and then we have a few more pages after that, but there's a lot of small bugs and stuff that I should probably iron out. I'm hoping at the end of by the end of this year or by mid-year, because there's other projects I want to work on, but like I said, I keep saying it's almost done, and then it's not almost done, so hopefully soon TM. So if we have more than one user, we'll do that. Otherwise, we won't display anything. And then we'll check to see if there's a name on the conversation. So here we say conversation. And maybe we can just do like an H3. Class name equal to, and I typoed here. Have an H3 with a message, conversation, pane, top bar, name. And then here inside we can just have set of curly braces, conversation dot conversation name question mark. If it has that, we'll go ahead and have the conversation dot conversation name. Otherwise, we'll say conversation dot users of 0 dot and then username. And this actually might be a nickname. So if the conversation doesn't have a name, we'll go ahead and display the nickname of the user that we're messaging. I think that's fine. Okay, and I think there's like one last thing we need to do. We also need to wrap these together. Div class name equal to message conversation pane top bar dash left. I'm gonna be working on this off stream too, so I'm not this isn't going to be the only work. I just have a few more things I need to finish up with the Freedom Tracker video that I'm working on, and then I'm going to be focusing on this weekend. So we have the conversation. Whoops. So we have, where'd it go? We have this part. Now we need to work on this bit, which is a details button. I'm gonna look at Material UI. I'm guessing Material UI, whoops, probably has something very similar to this one. So I'm gonna yoink this one from Material UI instead of copy and pasting it. Literally called info outline, probably, if I had to guess. Yeah, info outline. I'm just gonna yoink this one. So then outside of the top left, we'll have a div. Maybe. Last name equal to, and this will be message, conversation, pane, top bar, dash info, sure. And then we'll have an info outlines for Material UI, sx equal to, and I need to see what size this is. Let's check the size on this guy. Pretty small. The SVG itself is 20 by 20. So width is 20. 20 px. Whoops. Height is 20 px. And color is just black. So we'll just go ahead and say #000. Here we go. Cool. So in theory, that should be everything. And this is like the very top of the actual list itself. So if we go into this testing group here and scroll up, I guess it's a little bit different because it doesn't have the person's name in it. I don't want to leak any messages. Probably fine. But I think whenever... Oh, interesting. I don't like that. Once you scroll past this, it changes. Of course it does. So we'll have to deal with that some other way. But let's just go ahead and deal with this top bar. It does become like whatever, see-through. So let's hop in here. Let's go and grab this. Y dot paste. So width is going to be 100%. Height, we're just going to fit content. We're going to go ahead and say position will be sticky. And we're going to say top 0. The background, whoops, background color is going to be, whoops, RGBA. And this will be 255, 255, 255, and like 0.75 or something. And we need to find the blur. So space FG, blur, whoops. Yoink this. Guess I've been doing, 0.5, that's fine. Well, 0.5. Okay. We need a display flex on this. Justify content, space between, align items in the center. We'll need some padding. I'm just gonna say 12, 16. That's typically around what it is. And let's take a look. So we come back in here. Okay, so this looks fine. Obviously, it doesn't look perfect because these are stacked instead of side by side, but we'll deal with that in a second. Okay, we also need to filter out ourselves from that user list. So what we'll do is let's say const conversation users. So we need the logged in user too. So const think logged in is equal to use selector state root state dot user. Is that right? Yes. Const conversation users is equal to, and then we're going to go ahead and say conversation users dot filter, where we can just do this. See, this is the users, right? Say you. We can say user dot user ID not equal to logged in dot user ID. Logged in might not be. There we go. So we want to get rid of ourselves, which we should have probably done, but then here we'll go ahead and say conversation users. And then same thing here, we'll say conversation users dot length. Because it was showing me and Rick instead of just Rick, like that. There we go, looks better. Now this is kind of thick, but that's because there's an H3 there and it's doing some weird stuff. So there's that. Top left. So it'll be simple. Paste that in. So here we'll just go ahead and say justify content, or actually, oops, display flex, align items in the center, and then what's the last thing we want to do is maybe have a gap. I don't know what the gap should be. Let's see. Come into Twitter. Not much of a gap, maybe like 4 pixels. Okay, and then we need to deal with the margin and padding on this, making this wonky AF. So dot this. Okay, margin 0, padding 0, and then font size. We'll see what the font size is looking like. Font size is looking like 17. I don't know why they use such weird whatever. And then font weight we'll do like 600. That should look better. Okay, so this is not taking up the entire real estate. So that looks funky. But I think it's because, so this does have width 100%. I think it's this guy. So this message page conversation pane needs to take up 100% of the space as well. Let's yoink this Y and paste it in here. And let's go ahead and say width 100% and height 100%. See if it takes up the whole space now. There we go. That's much better. Now this is scuffed for some reason, so that's fun. We'll need to figure out why this got smushed. Why is it pushing it out? I don't know what that's pushing it out for. I'm gonna maybe set a max width on this. If it wants to be a silly willy. Go on the messages page. Not messages page. Huh. Is it because we don't have a max width? Because the max width should be, let's see. Come into Twitter. Max width is going to be 600. And I might have set this up elsewhere, like in the layout page. If I go into the layout page, Nah, I didn't actually deal with anything here. I don't think. A little bit of a change there, but... So, on this pane... Let's set a max width, oops, of 600. Hopefully that fixes this smush issue. Looks better. Okay. I don't know why I was pushing it so bad, but okay. I think I'm gonna go grab a quick another coffee, and then we'll wrap up with this bit. We need to do like a hover there, and then maybe we'll make another conversation where there's two people and kind of go from there. So I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a coffee, and then we'll go ahead and continue wrapping up, see if we can't display some messages in here.
It's been a while since I've seen your face. How you been? I'll admit I really miss this place. Just so you know, you haven't been replaced, 'cause I still think of you now like nothing has changed. And we just can't deny our hearts are beating time. We're both still synchronized. Whoa. And we can't let a lie. In between you and I, there's always love we hide, but it's always been you. It's always been you. You. It's always been you. It's been a while since I've seen your face. How you been? I'll admit I really miss this place. Just so you know, you haven't been replaced, 'cause I still think of you now like nothing has changed. And we just can't deny our hearts are beating time. We're both still synchronized. Whoa. And we can't let a lie. In between you and I, there's always love we hide, but it's always been you. It's always been you. You. It's always been you. It's always been you. It's always been you.
Alright, so let's go ahead and continue here. So now we need to go ahead and be able to click on this guy, and this actually takes us to a new page and some other stuff. So if we click on this, if we click on this, it actually hides and shows group info. So let's go ahead and deal with that. So I fixed this up a little bit, and really we'd probably want to have some, whatever it's called here, media queries, but it is what it is. So on the top bar, come in here. So we did the name, so I need to do the info. Copy this. And it's not very big. So let's go ahead and paste this in. So top bar info, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we'll just do width is like 24px, height is 24px, display flex it, specify content, whoops, in the center, align items in the center, if I could type, and we'll do dot message conversation info hover, whoops, nope, that was right, cool, and we'll have a cursor pointer, and we'll set a background dash color RGB, whoops, RGBA, try to do 000.1 here, maybe 0.1. Okay, so now if we come back in here, we also need to go ahead and throw a border none on there and a border radius of 100%. All right. So we probably go slightly bigger. Let's go 28. Because it does, like, you can notice it. It's just not massive. I like that better. So I think that looks good. Obviously the scrolling inside here isn't doing anything right now, so I'll have to deal with that. So now what we want to do is so the top of that is like, I'm looking at this, like, we probably need to set this guy up. We should have one. We need like let's see here. How do we want to do this? Let's set up clicking the info. Const handle info clicked react, whoops, react.mouse event on HTML. This is the div element, whatever. And we'll do this e.stop propagation, and then here we need navigate. Const navigate is equal to use, whoops, use navigate, and then we're gonna go ahead and navigate to backtick slash messages slash $ curly brace conversation ID slash info, whoops, slash info, I believe. Oh, whoops. We need to say navigate. Try this again. Navigate to backtick slash messages slash $ curly brace conversation ID slash info. Now when we click on this, I need to put the on click handler on. Duh. Click on this. On click is equal to handle info clicked. Now you click on it, takes us to this page. Click back. Good to go. Cool. Okay. Now I want to see, whoops. What do we have in here? Because we should have some sort of input, I'm sorry. Is it content? Like, here's the thing, right? We've already set up, when we come into home, Oh, I already have this set up. Interesting. We already have this component here. Like, we've got to have this somewhere. Create message bar. Called the create message bar. Yeah. Don't know what it does, but it's somewhere. So in theory, I don't know exactly what this does. I might need to do some funky stuff with it. But in theory, I should be able to go to our message conversation pane here and literally just like throw in a create message bar. I don't know what this takes in. Nothing, I guess. My mouse is acting up. Give me a sec. Hide that. Go into our messages page. Click on our Rick. Yeah, the only things we need to... We kind of have a display flex situation going here, where we want, oops, we want this stuff grouped together a little bit, and then this, okay. And yeah, so this isn't sticky to the bottom. Doesn't seem like. Yeah, it doesn't. It just looks like it has a height, fit content, and a border on the top. It doesn't look like it sticks to the bottom. So what we'd have to do is wrap this in a div called like message page conversation pane bottom, and literally just do this and then take this guy, copy it, let's do a width 100% and then position sticky bottom 0. Hopefully. We're gonna play this game. Unless it thinks this is the bottom of the component. No, it doesn't. So why is this not... It says sticky bottom. Because the pane itself is this big. So why is it not sticking to the bottom? I love dealing with this. I love dealing with stuff like this. The other option we have is setting the height to... So the other option that we have that's I don't love. Also, is there... Not, okay. So if this is going to play stupid, the other option we have is taking the height of this. This is like 53. Taking the height of this, which is probably also like 53, 50 something. So we take a look at this. The height of this is 52. So now if we can say 52 minus 56. And what we can do is do this. How do we want to do this? Is it because... Doesn't make any sense either. And what we might end up doing here is this instead. This should still be legal. We might wrap it like this instead. Let's just see if this helps any. No. Okay, so how do we want to do this? Because the sticky top is obviously working. Maybe I'm trying to think if I want to make the message container component right now or not. The other thing is this. We should have a message container. Trying to see if we have like, we should already have like a list of messages whenever we worked on the other one. How do I want to deal with this? I guess let's just go ahead and make a component. So message, this is message conversation and list, I guess. Slash message conversation and list.tsx. Message conversation pane list.css. Import React from React. Export const, whoops. And this is message conversation pane list. So I think what I called it. Except I typoed. I'll fix that in a second. React.fc. I just want to set up the state return. Or not the state, the CSS class name equal to message conversation pane list. Rename this to pane. Oops. Rename pane. Okay, that's fine. So now in the CSS, what we're gonna do is copy this. I'm gonna say dot maybe, paste that. So height is gonna be calc 100% minus, and we're gonna go ahead and take the height of this guy. So this guy is 53, 52. I don't like doing it this way, but it is what it is. So it's gonna be, if I find my calculator on my phone, it's gonna be 52 plus, and then the height of this guy total is 56. Say 50, yeah, we'll just say 56, that's fine. So 108, so we're gonna have 100% minus 108 px, right? And then that's just gonna be the set height. Actually, we'll set that, no, we want that. And then overflow, y will be auto. And we'll set width 100%, whatever. So that should space that out. Make sure we import this. Import the dot slash message, oops, maybe. Conversation pane list.css. Then we'll go ahead and say messages list here. Save that. Come back in here or in here. So now we'll have this message conversation pane list. We'll want to pass some messages in there, and then here we can just delete this, and that should hopefully space everything out like that. And then here this will scroll. This will be like a scroll list, and so on and so forth. And so the way we'll have to do this is we'll have to like start from the top and go like this. We did some work for specifically like this guy. Come back in here. We did some work for this guy where it started at the top like this. And it looks like we already have this anyway. We did some work to make this work, so we're going to have to probably look at this component again. This message pop-up component. And look at how we did this. Because there's some stuff we can reuse in there. But okay, so there's that. So we come back in here to our messages. I don't know why. It might be because it's not exact or something. So let's fix this create message bar here and group this guy and this guy together. That's an easy enough fix. Whoops. So basically what's going down here is the mess. I'm glad I didn't have to recreate this. Show actions, create message bar, BG. So I need to wrap this text area and this. I need to wrap this div, class name, message bar, left. I need to wrap this and this text area. Okay, and this is going to break everything, but what I'll do is copy this, and then we'll come right here with fit content, which we don't even need. We'll just go ahead and display flex this, align items in the center, and we'll set a gap like 8px or something, just to give it some space. That looks a lot better. Cool. And this should still hopefully take up the correct amount of space. I don't know if this text area is scuffed now or not. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. It's scuffed. It is scuffed. Cool. Not debugging that right now. Don't care. So, how was this before? Action bar wrapper, text area. I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't see how that would break it, to be honest. That's not something I want to debug this morning, to be honest with y'all. That text box thing with the emojis and stuff has been the bane of my existence, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, I want to create another chat with two people. So I'm going to go ahead and say Morty and Rick. Okay, so here it still doesn't have a conversation name. So maybe what I want to do I think here in the top bar, instead of having conversation name 0 dot nickname, we'll go ahead and say can we say dot join? How do we do this? I think we have to map it. Dot map, and then we'll map each user and say user dot username or nickname dot join with a space. I don't think it likes that. Try that. And we still didn't and then this needs to be conversation users dot map. Whoops. Okay, looks better. We need to make those bigger. So we do need to pass the size into this guy. I know we're all over the place right now. Size is 30 was what was on there. So now inside of our stacked profile pictures.tsx. So for so we have width equal to 42 by default. And I think that's just like a random thing. So I'm wondering if we set width equal to size question mark. If we have a size, we'll do some backticks, px, and we'll basically say $ curly brace size times 2. Actually, make sure this is $. So if we pass the size, we'll set the width equal to this, and then we'll do the same thing here. So we'll say size question mark backticks $ curly brace colon size backticks px, and I've scuffed this. Okay, if there's 2, we'll say this is like size plus 12 maybe, or size plus size divided by 2. Might get a little bit wonky, but we'll see. So size question mark backticks $ curly brace size plus size divided by 2, and then we'll math out round that in case some funky stuff happens. Px, because that's roundabout, not exactly, but it's close to what we're doing here. And then we have the width, and then height here, we'll go ahead and say size question mark backticks $ curly brace size px. Same thing here, size question mark backticks $ curly brace size px. Now we see how scuffed it is. think we had to pass the size to this guy, which we don't have. Let's go into post profile, pop up icons, right? And this is just an image. Oops. So we'll pass an optional size here. Size, which is an optional number. Okay, so we'll have to basically override what's going down here, which is suboptimal, but we'll make it work because this does have a class name on it. But anything on in the style tag itself will override anyway. So what we can do is just go ahead and have style, and then we'll say, how do we want to do this? We might also be able to do this size question mark for size and width. Backticks, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Size px, height backticks, $sign curly brace, size px. No, it will not work. So we'll have to do width. How do we want to do this? Because this is going to skip everything. Maybe just unset. We'll just try that. Don't know if this is going to work or not, but... So if we have a size, we'll set it, and this is really the one that we'll be concerned about because we're using default PFPs right now. So once again, width, size, question mark, backtick, $sign curly brace, size, px. And height, backticks, $sign curly brace, size px. What did I do wrong? Oh, we need to go ahead and say or nothing, or nothing. I still broke it. We need a question mark. There we go. How broken is it? Very broken. Size is a number. And it's optional. Why does it matter to us? Size or undefined is not assignable to type post pop-up icon props. But it is. Right here, brother. Let's come back up here. So what are you mad at? It's the top bar. Stacked profile pictures. So why are you mad? Now it's fine, and that looks better. Cool. And then I should probably add more logic for if there's more people, but it is what it is. The next question is, we have 15 minutes before I end stream. The next question is, do I start trying to load in messages? Or my mouse is going crazy. Do I set it up so we can edit the info? That's the next question. Because the thing is, we should have messages themselves. So if we go back into here, go back to home, open this up, we have this whole container here. We have this message pop-up. If we open this messages pop-up, more or less, we should be able to probably reuse a lot of this code. We have the messages bar. That's fine. So I'm trying to figure out what's going down here. So we're keeping track of if we are. So we have the message conversation card whenever we don't have something open. If we're replying to a message, I don't know what this message state is. Message state is just coming from our state.message, okay. So we have this conversation container, which I think has our actual messages inside of it. So I'm wondering if we could just reuse this. Like, I wonder if we can just yoink this code. There is like a reply resize ref. I don't know what's going down there, but this is more or less the same exact thing that we have, I think. Like, I'm thinking about just yoinking this code. Conversation container here. And seeing what happens. Well, to deal with this whole reply thing, like, I'm wondering if we can literally just paste this in here. We'll have to figure out the min height. But that's not that big of a deal. I don't know what this does. I'll have to look into this container. But let's go and pass in the conversation here. Just see what happens. Pass in the conversation. And then min scroll height. Let's go and put like 600 or 700 right now. Obviously, that's not what we're looking for. It's a number. Okay. Take a look at the conversation container real quick. What does this do? It does the scroll to top stuff, so that's fine. Has unread messages. Does a bunch of stuff for us. Okay, so it does some funky stuff with the min height. I don't know what that's doing. That's kind of concerning. So I guess in here, let's set up a use effect on page load const, and we'll set up a page height and set page height equal to use effect. Oh, not equal to use effect, use state. And this will be a number. Start out at 0. Whenever we load in, we might need to set up a ref. So I think we already set this to width 100% and a height. Yeah. We don't need to do any calculations, we just get the height from this. So we can say const conversation pane ref is equal to use ref on an HTML div elements. Pass it null to start. And then we can say if our conversation ref and our conversation pane ref dot current, then we'll go and set page height to conversation ref dot current dot, and then there's a height in here. We just got to figure out what we want, where it's from. It's like get client height or something, or get scroll height, 1 to 2. So let's see here. So there's scroll height. I don't know if we want scroll height or client height. Let's just see what client height looks like. Console.log the page height. Let's see if it looks right. We'll go ahead and pass this page height. Oh, we need to pass in pass in the conversation here. Dang it. Conversation equal to conversation. Oh my goodness, I cannot type. Conversation is equal to conversation. There. Better. Messages. Click on this. It's doing something. It says 1 is... I don't like that. I don't like how it says it's 0. One on this one. So if I watch the conversation pane ref, yeah, what I was worried about. Might be okay though, I don't know. Go into messages. Yeah. I mean, it seems like it's working, but I don't know if it's working or not. That's the thing that scares me. I mean, it's got a scroll area. And create a message. This got scuffed. I don't like that. I think I need to work on the size of this. It needs to be pushed over. I think that will help a bit. There's a message in here. I think in between videos, I'll mess around with, or in between streams and stuff, I'll mess around with like sending messages back and forth and stuff and like debugging. But it seems like that worked. If we click on message 2, this is what we expect to happen. So like I think that's all we have to do for this. Now this, I don't 100% know if this is actually working. This scares me a little bit. Because I didn't get the page height to actually... So like, what if I did this? What if I did this instead? Get undefined right now. You know what? Why am I so bad at programming, dude? Like, seriously. Why am I so bad at programming? I don't know. To retire. Now we got it back. There. That's better. And I'm guessing this is what it's supposed to look like. That's better. So now it should actually be passing it. I feel better about that now. Okay. Like, that might be all we have to do. And like, there was some other logic in there. In that message pop-up. I think it was this one. No. Like, there's some other logic here. That I'm curious about. That we might also need. So we go into this one. Pane list, I think. Okay, I think I'm gonna research this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I think I'm gonna research this off stream. So the messages bar, it's like this. I feel like We need to figure out what's going down with this. I don't know 100% what this is for. It's obviously for replying to a specific image. But I think that there's specific logic going down in this. And the other thing that I'm curious about is like, well, this one's set to specific height. The other thing that I'm curious about is like, can we just reuse this messages pop-up component and set the scroll height to something bigger? Like, can we check what page we're on in here and set the height to like the height of the page, right? Min scroll height is just the client height of 0 or the client height of the resize ref. I think I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't just completely reuse this messages pop-up inside that. I think this has everything we need. Obviously, like, slightly different, but the messages bar is slightly different. But we can, like, render one thing or the other. Now, the only thing is we have to set message pop-up open to true to get this part to work. But we could say message state that pop-up open true, or if we're on that specific page, right? And then that would also work. And then here it's fine because whenever we're replying to one, it should be the same logic, so on and so forth. So I think I'm going to investigate that a little bit, maybe, because this already has everything set up for us. So I think I might slap this inside of here. Whoops. Go back. So instead of having this message pane, we can still use this message conversation pane top bar. But what we'll do is, instead of having this, we'll just update it and slap it into where'd this go? Messages page. Instead of this conversation pane, we'll just render that messages pop-up, set it to true, kind of go from there. So I'll play around with that. Hopefully by the end of this week I'll be pretty dang close to wrapping up messages. We'll see. There's some stuff I need to clean up, so that's not fun. But then we can hopefully start working on some other pages. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream here. I hit my limit. So appreciate y'all for stopping by. It's been Ethan Encoder. I'll see you all in the next stream.